So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to introduce the representatives that are speaking for the different agencies first, and then we have other agencies here today too that I'm going to say that are here, but they don't have speakers, so we're going to get started. Again, thank you for coming out this afternoon to the El Nino press conference. Caltrans is hosting this press conference with multiple agencies. We thank you for taking the time to come out. This El Nino event, as you're going to hear, is something that we need to pay attention to, and we definitely need to get the word out to the public and to the motoring public. Let's start off with introducing Alex Tardy. He's our first speaker. Alex is with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and the National Weather Service. I then have the new Caltrans District 8 Director. He's been on board with us since about the beginning of August. His name is John Belinsky. Again, he's the new District 8 Caltrans Director. I have Assistant Chief Don Trapp with the San Bernardino County Fire. And then I have our Public Works Director for San Bernardino County, Jerry Newcomb. I have the Deputy Public Affairs Officer for the U.S. Forest Service here today, Geraldine Alcordo, and she's going to be talking about winter recreation. And very importantly, safety, tactics, and important information for motorists. Jeff Lofton, Lieutenant Jeff Lofton with the California Highway Patrol. So let's go ahead and get started and learn all about what El Nino really is, because I learned a few weeks ago it is not about rain. Alex Tardy.
Thanks, Terry. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Tardy with the NOAA, National Weather Service Office out of San Diego. We're a 24/7 operation that provides the warnings that go across your TV screen or your radio station, emergency alert system. And now with new technology, it goes to your wireless emergency alert or your smartphone, cell phone. Our agency promotes the slogan, when flooded, turn around, don't drown. And we're going to talk here about El Nino and specifically what it is, what it isn't, and what the impacts, most importantly, can be to us here in Southern California. I want to thank Caltrans and all the other partner agencies for putting on this event. This is a great show of collaboration between local, county, city, state, and federal agencies. Our role at the National Weather Service is to make sure that as a nation, everyone is weather ready. Weather Ready Nation is another slogan we use. Everyone who's watching can help by understanding and sharing this information with their coworkers, with their partners, and most importantly, with the public. And they can also become a Weather Ready Nation ambassador. So, El Nino, what is it? Well, El Nino, as Terry was describing, actually isn't rain. It isn't an individual storm. But what it is unusually warm ocean temperatures down in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Seems so far away to affect our weather here in the Cajon Pass in Southern California, but it's real. It's not a matter of where El Nino is. It's a matter of when is it coming, and most importantly, when will it change our weather pattern? And that's what El Nino does. It literally changes our weather pattern for one winter, one season. It takes the jet stream from Northern California and the Pacific Northwest, brings it down for the winter. And so we're in the path of those storms during a strong El Nino. When we're in the path of those storms, we get frequent storms. The cumulative impact of too much rain saturates our land. Our rivers start flowing. We get urban flooding. We get coastal beach erosion. Those are the impacts that El Nino bring, and what they've historically brung, like in 1997, 98, you probably remember that one, and 82, 83. Those are the only comparable El Ninos right now that we have. The current El Nino, meaning the ocean temperatures in the equatorial Pacific Ocean, are at a level that we've never seen before. We monitor them weekly using satellite and buoy data. It's now at 3.1 Celsius. Sounds like a relatively small number, but for oceans, who hold all the power and heat content across our globe and drive our weather patterns, that's a tremendous amount of energy and warmth. It's actually warmer than what we saw in 1997 in the last big El Nino. So what that means for Southern California is we can be expecting a lot of precipitation, a lot of storms, and it's going to start anytime. We think the brunt of it's going to be December through March, so that's the key. It's not one storm we're looking for, it's many storms. It's a change in our weather pattern. Think of it as a little bit of climate change for one season. And the key about El Nino is not only does it bring a lot of rain and snow to our mountains and wind, it brings an extended winter. So our winter can go all the way into March and April. So we haven't seen a winter like that for a long time. We're now in the worst drought we've ever seen in the past 4 years. California is missing 27 inches of rain across the whole state. We've never seen temperatures like this in 2014 and 15. Warmest we've seen on record. And what El Nino will do is change our weather pattern, bring us clouds, storm, wind, and rain. What can you do now to prepare for El Nino? You can clean leaves out of your backyard. You can clean your gutters. You can check see if you need flood insurance. There's many things you can do to prepare for it now while the sun is still out. It's going to be difficult when the rains start falling. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex. Thank you. I do want to acknowledge there another agency here today, CAL FIRE. Thank you for coming. A big showing out here. They won't be speaking today, but they are here, and we do have one of their chiefs available for interviews. All right, we're going to move on and start finding out what other agencies have been doing to prepare for El Nino. I'd like to introduce the Caltrans District 8 Director, John Belinsky.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Alex. Obviously, Alex's message was El Nino is here, storms are coming. You know, millions of people travel across this region, and Caltrans, and our first priority is the safety of the traveling public, as well as our employees and those emergency responders that will be responding to events that occur as a result of any kind of storm damage. And during adverse weather conditions, Caltrans is on a 24/7 operation. So in preparation for the El Nino that's here and the storms that we anticipate, Caltrans has performed a number of tasks, including cleaning more than 10,000 culverts in District 8. We've replaced signs, we've refreshed striping, we've performed mountain rock scaling, we've placed erosion control measures, we've also pre-positioned equipment in strategic locations as well as material and staff across the region, all in preparation for the El Nino storms. Our regional response requires a strong partnership and the communication with federal, state, and local agencies, and many of those are represented here today. Caltrans obviously is taking El Nino serious, and with the prediction of intense storms that I mentioned, and I also urge the traveling public to do the same. We encourage drivers to plan ahead, check the weather and road conditions before you travel. Roads may be closed due to weather and traffic conditions, so be prepared for that. When you see Caltrans working or responding to an incident, move over and slow down. Always carry chains when you travel to the mountains, even when it is not snowing, and be alert for chain control checkpoints. Caltrans is committed to preparing and responding to incidents that adversely affect our roadways, but we cannot predict how our environment will respond. Just like the July storms that caused the damage to Texwash Bridge on I-10, storm damage is unpredictable. But rest assured, Caltrans will provide rapid response with public safety being our #1 priority. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Belinsky. All right, we're going to move on to the San Bernardino County Fire. I have Assistant Chief Donald Trapp here with us today, talking about plan, prepare, practice, and also showcasing our Swift Water Rescue Program.
Thank you very much to Caltrans for inviting us. Thanks for having us here representing all the local emergency providers. Already this year we've seen multiple flooding incidents. In mid-October we had mudding and mud flows that trapped hundreds of motorists in an adjacent county, forcing the closure of I-5. Early September we had a couple on a first date get caught in a flash flood in Milk Creek Wash. One of them was unsuccessful at getting out of that. And each year, more deaths occur due to flooding than any other severe weather-related hazard. The main reason is people underestimate the force and power of water. More than half of all flood-related deaths result from vehicles being swept downstream. San Bernardino County Fire encourages residents to prepare now. The best preparation for possible flooding is to plan ahead, especially if you're in any flood-prone area or if you're currently living below a recent burn scar. Residents can download a free Ready, Set, Go preparedness flyer that San Bernardino County Fire has on our website, sbcfire.org. That gives a ton of information on how to prepare and plan. We also have sand and sandbags available at many of our fire stations. That list is also available at sbcfire.org. Nearly all of our first responders are trained in swift water rescue. And we have more than 100 members as part of our swift water rescue teams. We have some of their equipment on display over here, and they're available to answer any further questions. During specific weather warnings, San Bernardino County Fire can upstaff and strategically move or place our swift water rescue resources to best handle any situation. We count on Alex and Noah to give us up-to-date information on current flooding activity, and we can move our resources ahead of time to match that need. The most important thing we can emphasize is we would rather not meet you and have to use any of this equipment. We would much rather have you prepare ahead of time to heed the signs that say turn around and don't drown and not need our assistance. If somehow and unexpected you're caught in your vehicle and your vehicle stalls in a flooded area, if your vehicle remains stable in its place, stay in your vehicle and call for help. Do not try to get out in the moving water. If your vehicle does start moving downstream, there's a whole lot more problems. Try to call for help. Look for some way to get to safety. Never, never cross a road that you can't see the bottom from moving water. Less than 2 feet of water can sweep your vehicle downstream. We thank you very much for attending. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chief. Okay. There's another agency that actually maintains roads throughout all of San Bernardino County. It may not be the freeways and state highways, but it's all of the county roads. Today we have here our Public Works Director for San Bernardino County, Mr. Jerry Newcomb.
Thank you. Good afternoon. On the strength of the National Weather Service's El Nino predictions, we held, I think, what is an unprecedented meeting last month with the 4 major resource agencies that control permits that we need to get in and do work in our flood control facilities. We sat down with the Corps of Engineers, the the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife, and the Regional Water Quality Control Boards, and we impressed upon them the need to treat this El Nino prediction as an emergency today so that we could get started now clearing out flood control channels and basins. And those agencies agreed with us and granted us emergency permits. We identified over 37 facilities that needed emergency work. We've got about half of that finished right now. We expect to have the rest finished by the end of December. And by doing the work in those facilities, we've taken significant areas out of flood risk and allowed these facilities to perform as they've been designed. So we're happy to do that, and we're glad to add those resource agencies to the list of partners that surround us here today. We've got our equipment staged and ready for flood fighting and for snow removal. We've hired about 26 temporary seasonal employees to assist us throughout the winter season. We've got chains and road materials stocked strategically around the county in specific areas. And I would just remind our mountain residents that the county ordinance restricts parking on roads during snow season from roughly the middle of October to the middle of April, and your vehicle could be towed if you're blocking snow plows. So we'll have inspectors in the field that will tag vehicles with a warning just ahead of snow reports and make sure that your vehicles are out of the way. We also have a lot of information on our county website about preparing for the snow season, about preparing for flood, how to protect your property against debris flow and erosion. I would encourage everyone to check out that information on the county's webpage. Thank you.
Okay, some more great information. Also, I just want to remind all of you, we have press kits over there, and a lot of information and contact info is in these press kits, so grab one before you leave today. Not just the reporters, we have several, so some of the other agencies can also take them back with them. Okay, next we're going to talk about a little bit of snow with Geraldine Alcoro. She is the Deputy Public Affairs Officer with the United States Forest Service. Geraldine.
Good afternoon. As we enter the winter months and snow play starts on the San Bernardino National Forest, we ask that all persons play responsibly. As you enjoy your time on the forest, remember our Leave No Trace initiative, where everything you bring into the forest, please bring out. Please, anything, also be aware of Adventure Pass requirements. Within our turnouts and our parking areas, we do require Adventure Pass, and you can go onto our website and see where an Adventure Pass is required during snow play. You need to display the Adventure Pass wall in designated areas to prevent being issued a notice of required fee. Also, please be safe while playing in the snow park areas and designated parking, and safely within the turnouts. Use extreme caution while crossing the highways or any roads. While preparing for your trip to enjoy the snow, be sure to pack extra water, food, clothes, and a blanket in case of any type of emergency. Thank you. Have fun in a safe winter season. Please know before you go and check weather conditions before heading to the snow play.
All right, good information. Thank you, Geraldine. And very importantly, we'd like the public to know that you need to stay off of private property when you're playing in the mountains. Try not to trespass, because there's some really good sledding on maybe somebody's private property. Just stay off of there, please. Okay, we are going to get into some motorist safety right now with the Highway Patrol. I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Jeff Lofton with the San Bernardino CHP office.
Thank you, Terry. California Highway Patrol has been working diligently with our federal, state, county, and local partners to prepare for El Nino. We'd like to give a couple of reminders and hints out to the public to ensure that they can make it through El Nino as well. First of all, plan ahead. Look at your vehicles, inspect them, make sure your tires, windshield wipers are prepared for icy, wet weather. If you're going to go on a long trip, ensure that you got a full tank of gas. Some helpful items you can have inside your vehicle include a shovel, flashlight, blankets, food, water. In the event you're driving in inclement weather, we ask that you slow down and have a good distance between you and the vehicle in front of you and around you. Additionally, if you have your windshield wipers on, state law currently requires you have your headlights on as well for visibility. If you're in foggy conditions, ask that you slow down as well and use your low beams as opposed to your high beams when driving. It's been emphasized a couple of times, but I just want to go over it one more time. In the event that you come across some water on the roadway, you may have a sign, you may not have a sign. Do the smart thing, turn around, don't drown. As the fire captain was saying, with 12 inches of water, moving water, a small vehicle can be moved and swept downstream. 18 to 24 inches or more can move larger vehicles downstream. And it's important to know that over half of the deaths from flooding in the last couple of years have been individuals in motor vehicles. So be smart, turn around, don't drown. Next, and it kind of goes hand in hand with El Nino, we got the holiday season approaching us with Thanksgiving right around the corner. The Highway Patrol would like motorists to remember that this is our maximum enforcement period. Our officers are going to be out there in force, enforcing primary collision-causing events and such as speeding, following too closely, unsafe lane changes, and impaired drivers. Last year, during the Thanksgiving weekend, unfortunately, we had 45 motorists who were killed in the state of California. During that same time period, we had almost 1,000 individuals who were arrested for driving while impaired under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs. So do the smart thing, designate a sober driver prior to going out and enjoying your holiday festivities. Additionally, of those 45 individuals who lost their life, over half of them weren't wearing their seatbelts. And so we encourage Californians and people using our roadways to please buckle up. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I'm just going to say a few words here really quick. Alex is also a partner with Caltrans, and we formed a very close relationship with him in this El Nino season. And he's telling me that we're going to get a little bit of rain on Wednesday night into Thursday, and then again on Friday night into Saturday, it looks like we might get a little bit of snow. Correct, Alex?
That's correct. It's going to be unsettled, not a big storm, but a little bit of weather starting actually as soon as tonight, Tuesday night, and then a little more Wednesday night into Thanksgiving morning, and then the final one will be sometime on Saturday. It only takes a little bit of snow, a little bit of rain to make the road more hazardous, so keep that in mind, even though it's not a big storm.
Yeah, you just stole my thunder there, Alex. We are in the Thanksgiving week, and our traffic volumes have seemed actually pretty low the last couple of days, but I will guarantee you that starting tomorrow and throughout the entire weekend, we're going to see some very high traffic volumes traveling in and out of the state on the 10, the 40, and the 15. Our peak travel times are actually going to start kicking off tomorrow. Coming back on Sunday night, it's going to be rough. We do have a moratorium. We're not going to be allowing any lane closures unless there's an emergency. We just want people to check the traffic conditions before they go. We all know that when you get a little bit of rain on the highway, it mixes with the oil and we start getting accidents. And then when we get a little bit of snow in the mountains, we start seeing people looking up there and saying, I want to go to the mountains. We just want people to do it safely. Have a great time, bring your chains, and bring patience, because no matter where you go this weekend, you're going to run into traffic. We also have Officer Brian Alvarez here this afternoon from the Highway Patrol. Brian, he is here and available to do Spanish-speaking interviews. Now, we are ready to take questions. Let's get started. Questions, anyone? I think we just did our job and covered it all. Thank you all for coming out this afternoon. Again, I'd like to thank all the agencies, Caltrans, San Bernardino County Fire, CAL FIRE, the Forest Service. Thank you so much to the County Public Works and the EOC. I've been working with them over the last 3 weeks for being here, for the CHP, of course. And really special to me today is having Alex here from NOAA and NWS. Thank you so much, Alex, for driving up from San Diego. And thank you to the media for helping us get the word out and always being there for us and keeping the public informed and also keeping on top of all of this important info. Thank you.